I'm Talitha Hodgson. I am the project manager for Last Chance Grade. I work for Caltrans. My responsibility as a project manager in general is to make sure projects stay within scope, schedule, and cost. That's a really dry picture of what I do, but actually most of what I do is problem solving. So, trying to keep a project moving forward, talking to the public, regulatory agencies, basically marshaling all of our forces together for a product. And in this case, it's the engineer feasibility study. So whatever that entails, that's what we do. Last Chance Grade is it's a section of Route 101 that runs through Norte County along the coast. It starts at basically what's called the Wilson Creek Bridge, and it runs all the way along the coast, along the bluff, and it eventually turns into the redwoods. But that portion that runs along the coast is called Last Chance Grade. It's there's been about 200 or more landslides mapped along that grade, individual landslides. It's very difficult to maintain due to that coastal uplift geology and that continuing movement. We've done some proactive, as the road moves, the road alignment becomes less than perfect, so the curves become less smooth. We end up with dips in the roadway. So we do some proactive projects to do those types of improvements, to improve the travelability based on the movement of the grade. And then also when we have a landslide occur, we end up having to do, and there's an obvious drop off in the roadway, or we're seeing some distress to some of the structures out there, we'll initiate emergency projects to immediately go out there and make sure the road's drivable. When the repair that's necessary can is not immediate, we'll initiate some longer term projects to further stabilize the roadway. Our documents go back to about 1981, and we've spent about $36 million in the last 34 years to keep the roadway open. Over the years, we've had multiple, we've had basically peaks and valleys in terms of interest in the grade and also movement of the grade. So in the early 80s, we saw, late 70s, early 80s, we saw a lot of movement, and so we had initiated studies at that time to look at a possible project to maybe realign the roadway away from the grade. Of course, the impacts at that time were considered too significant environmentally by many organizations. At the same time, funding was no longer available for that type of project to the state of California. So we had re-strategized to maintain on the existing alignment. Given the storm damage that we've experienced in the last, I would say 4 or 5 years, and the traffic delays that have impacted the public, and due to the raised concerns that the public has, we're revisiting that again, and we're looking to see whether or not a project should be undertaken here. We're looking at approximately 14 alternatives, in addition to, we always have to look at, can we keep the road in its current location and maintain it like we have been. So the reason that we haven't done anything at the grade in terms of realigning the roadway in the last 50 years or so, while we've been experiencing the continual movement at the grade, is largely due to we need public support for a project of that size. It's also due to the fact that it is an extremely complex problem. The grade goes right through Del Norte Coast Redwoods State Park, which is part of Redwoods State National Park, which is a internationally unique biosphere. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, you know, that's in a very sensitive context, and, you know, realigning a roadway within that park, you know, within parks, you know, that's a difficult situation. And in addition, the grade goes right through an area of cultural importance. So there are no easy solutions. And, you know, when we are faced with opposition and when we're faced with large hurdles like that that could have impacts on future generations and their abilities to enjoy these resources, we have to be very, very sure about what we're doing, and we make sure that the public is completely on board